Alright, so the Monster Energy All-Star race for 2018 just concluded, and let's get right into it. I'm going to do the rundown of the race, and then I'm going to talk about my opinion on the aero package. So let's just get started. On stage 1, we have the green flag, and surprisingly there was actually good weather. I heard in the forecast throughout the week that it was going to be crappy, but I mean, I guess it wasn't, so that's always a plus. Lap 2, Kurt Busch does a spin, and I thought that was kind of funny because he has a Monster Energy sponsor with the car, and they actually used his car for the diagram of like this is how the car is going to be. And I thought that was kind of funny. Coincidence? I think not. And Harvick would end up winning the first stage, and like he does all the stages, and there's not really much else to say about that. So stage 2 comes up, which is I think 20 laps, and first thing that happens in the stage, Casey Kane hits the wall because I think he got a little bit loose in the pack, side drafting and all that. So he hits the wall big time. He's able to repair it substantially. Alex Bowman spins with like 10, maybe 5 to go. And I think stage 2 winner, Kyle Busch. So, I mean, you got Harvick and you got Busch, the two juggernauts of the season. Okay, so now we get to stage 3. And the only notable thing about stage 3, which is a big notable, was the massive crash that happened because Truex tried to go 4 wide. I'm a Truex fan, but I'm going to be honest. I think Truex is in the wrong. He drove down on Stenhouse. He tried to make it 4 wide. He said in his interview that if nobody's going to let off, then I'm not going to let off, which is understandable. I mean, that's respectful, but somebody's got to give, and unfortunately it was Truex. And surprisingly, I was looking at the replay. He had some room between him and Boyer, which Boyer was on the outside, but I mean, he kind of pinned Ricky, and Truex spun out. He collected Busch, Kyle Busch. Kyle was able to make repairs to get back out on the track. Keselowski, he was done. Kurt Busch, he was done. And surprisingly, I saw Kenseth got a little bit of damage, and Kenseth has that retro number 6 car. Oh, sorry. Kenseth has this number 6 car, which I thought was a pretty cool scheme, especially with the 1990s Mark Martin font. And that's about it. That's the only notable thing I remember. And stage 4 happens. Stage 4 is a 10-lap shootout. No caution laps don't count. Harvick rockets to the front, or he gets a substantial lead, and Suarez is starting to eat into it. 9, 8, 7, 6 laps to go, and he's eating into it about quarter of a second back. And since there's restrictor plates, he can't really make a move. 2 laps to go. That wreck with Larson and Logano. Larson tried to run Logano up into the wall, and Logano didn't like that, and Logano retaliated with a right rear bumper hook, and Larson almost went into the wall, but he spun out into the grass on the pit road, and then the caution came out with 2 to go, which I was rooting for a caution because Harvick was going to go and win it, and I was like, come on, we need a caution. But surprisingly, Larson just did a slide through the grass, had no damage, which I thought was shocking because of how low the splitter is to the ground. I'm surprised he didn't nip the grass or anything. But yeah, that's a caution. And then we get to overtime, and Harvick pulls ahead by Suarez. Harvick wins again. He gets $1 million, like every All-Star winner gets. But yeah, he did it. He earned it. I have respect for him. He won again, and he earned it. There's a couple notable finishes. Obviously, Daniel Suarez getting second. That's awesome because he hasn't been on the best roll. I mean, he's gotten a couple top 10s, but I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Joe Gibbs would expect more. Chase Elliott got a 5th place finish, which is good showing for Chevy. I mean, the car's still in development, but there's not much you can do. 5th place is awesome. AJ Allmendinger, the star of the All-Star Open, the little Open before the race, he got an 8th place. It's pretty good for him, knowing that he's in the Kroger Clicklist equipment, which is not the best equipment. Kyle Larson, that spin in the grass, was able to get fresh tires with 2 to go, and he came from 13th to 7th in 2 laps, which I thought that was good. And Casey Kane hit that wall very hard, was able to come back to a top 10 and 10th. And that's really all the notables. My boy Truex got a top 20, so that's good, right? Truex wrecked out, oh my god. But, my opinion on the aero package, I thought it was an improvement from last year and, like, the year before that, like everyone else. I just kind of thought the restrictor plates, I thought that was a little extreme. I like the aero ducts. I don't know what the aero, like I said, I don't know what the aero ducts do, but I mean, they said they were an improvement, so I thought they were kind of an improvement. The big spoiler, I mean, I don't really have any opinion on the spoiler. I thought the spoiler was okay, but I know it's really big, so there's that. The splitter, I saw there was a little bit of a gap between the track for the splitter, so I thought that was kind of good. But you could hear in the audio that, like, wait, no, the audio has nothing to do with it. I already said that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought it was an improvement. I think they need to work on it a little bit, but I could totally see this package being used at places like Michigan or California. I don't think they should use this at places like Indy or Pocono. I just don't see it. I don't think that would work. But I don't really have any other opinions on that. Let's see, what's next? Next week's obviously the Coke 600, one of the crown jewels of NASCAR. My early pick's Harvick, but I still have some stats to look at. But my early pick's Harvick. But there's nothing else to say. Race overall was 7.5, probably an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a decent race. I just didn't like hearing the cars, like you could hear them flat out through the whole thing. But there was pack racing. There was a couple wrecks and crashes, which I don't want to wreck this, but I don't really want, like a Las Vegas race earlier this year. So the race in general is okay. But yeah, that's my opinion on the race. I don't really have much else to say. Be sure to, like the video, comment, critique me. I don't care. And subscribe. Maybe I'll do a thing. Maybe I'll make a career out of this. And yeah, this is Tyler, and I'm signing off. Peace out.